tight end. Come on, Michael. It's all right, let it go in. It's in, it's in. 53, Mike. 53 stack. 53 stack. No, it isn't. Jones blocked the end. Mike, 46. All right, here we get 53's outside now. He's coming in now. Tough to run a dive. Got to run it this side tight. He's got the first.
Ball spotted on the 31-yard line.
That power trap, so I think maybe we're better off running weak side on him. So it's 33 here. All right, let's see because he's coming on this side. See how tight he is, the backer?
Providence 7.
It's
100 point answer is good. Stop that time by Adam.
All right, we're in the six. We're in the six. Oh, we got a tackle. What the hell's going on?
Referee indicates ball on the 8-yard line.
To that side. Just let him play on his nose. Does it every time. Going away from where the 7 guy
So today the clock on the field is official. There will be no 4-minute warning.
No, but that was running it to the tower. This is away from the tower. All right, they're in the 6-5 now. Okay, might not be open now. Better off running to the power now.
Shepherd on the...
Well, you're running the ball this way. Next time you have that full side of the field to go to. Yeah. Throw it, Jim. Throw the damn ball out of bounds. That's all right. Maybe he can run it then. That's it, 17. Look.
32-yard attempt.
Yeah, even not in the cover 3 though. Playing inside all the time, yeah. Good.
And the field goal is good. Shepherd on the... Shepherd on the carry. Shepherd on the carry.
After the kick.
47-yard attempt.
Short. Very short. Roughing the kicker. Tight end delay. No, Mike, let's get more than one receiver out. I don't have one receiver.
Pass intended for shot.
Who's got the tee? Got it ready? Ready to go? Throw the ball, Jimmy. Oh, man. Good.
35-yard field goal is good.
Tell Joe to slide over here. Counter. Clip. There's a clip on 20.
Tight by running successfully. That's going to make their passing game open up and be more successful.
Liberato in motion. The give to Kemmerer, the fullback. Kemmerer has a few before Greg Dulst wraps him up. Give Kemmerer 3 yards on the play. 2nd and 7 coming up for the Pioneers. New Providence is 6-2 this season. Their only defeats have been Mountain Valley Conference losses to Middlesex, 12-7, and to Brearley in a game we saw here on TV3, 16-14.
And I am very impressed by what I saw in the film of New Providence. They are an excellently efficient team.
That's the end of the first quarter. A score.
Come on, Craig. All right, pick it up.
Adams on the return. Shadow McCall.
It's open up top. It's open up top. Holding them again. What the hell are these guys? Short, short. Damn it. Yeah, that's better with the dive. Pepper's sitting right there. If you didn't follow. Let it go. 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 Let it go.
To go.
Okay, well, all right, I'm just saying, though, you did, just so you're aware of it. Okay, but if he's playing the dive, he might be able to run it outside him. not coming up.
Second down, about 4 yards to go.
Got a first. Our help. Idea, Mike. Right. Good idea.
Shepherd on the carry. He's Shepherd on the carry.
Good punt. No, we still got pretty good position. Short.
Fourth, 7 yards to go for the Huskies.
Not only that, too, Joe, the fact the clock wasn't started. So we were not wasting any time but our own.
Brings up about a 4th and 9 situation for New Providence.
They got it.
record only.
What are we going to do on fourth if we don't get it? What's he doing on fourth? We punting? How are we going to take a safety? I'll punt the damn ball. Joe. Mike. Take a snap. If you're taking a throw on the ball, and this game's over, right?
And that's the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. New Providence 14. Chatham High School 20. Congratulations to both schools, New Providence High School and Chatham High School, for an outstanding football game. North Jersey, Section 2, Group 1 champions, Chatham High School.
Hi everyone, I'm Matt Lachlan, and with me Paul Spahala, and we welcome you to Scoreboard 1984. And unfortunately, because that means that Colonia lost, this will be our last scoreboard. We had hoped that if the Patriots advanced in Central Jersey Group 3 play, that we would broadcast their championship game, but they lost today. And so this will be our last scoreboard as we run down all the championship games that took place in the TV3 area and outside of our area. And Paul, there are also some interesting games to report on. Of course, Union trying to keep that undefeated streak alive. Could Ed Yergalonis return to Rawway and come away with a state championship? What was going to go on between East Brunswick and J.P. Stevens? A lot of interesting stories today.
Certainly very interesting, of course, as high school football handed out 17 state titles today, and there's still one more to go. Of course, Central Jersey Group 3 will play next week for their championship in what will be the latest high school football game ever played in the state of New Jersey. They'll, of course, be playing on December 8th. But yes, we had a lot of exciting football today, and there were some teams involved in the TV3 area, as there almost always are.
Yes, they had, in fact, there were 4 games involving teams from the TV3 area. And when we come back from this break, we'll let you know how those teams did and all the other scores from around the state. So stay with us.
Want to make some real holiday excitement? Take a look at all the fun we've got on Showtime in December. The month starts out on a great note with chartbuster Elton John and his Breaking Hearts tour. A live performance captured in London. Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy are turning things around this month, and they're not sparing the laughs as Showtime gives you Trading Places for the first time on cable. Turning to the theater, watch Treasure Island, the play that took the British Tony Award, a swashbuckling Showtime original. And every weekday at 4 during December, Showtime presents Family Time. The kids will love all the holiday specials and cartoon classics. Our lineup features Santa, Pinocchio, and other holiday favorites. Showtime drama features Robin Hood, the best new adventure series around. Who's the mysterious prisoner that Robin would give his own life for? Find out in Robin Hood, The Prophecy, only on Showtime. Make your holiday even more exciting. Call this number today to order Showtime.
This cable board, I'm Matt Locklin. Well, for the third consecutive year, Union and Montclair squared off in the North Jersey Section 2 Group 4 State Championship. And this year, it was the #1 ranked Union club coming away with the championship over Montclair. Union records an undefeated 11-0 season as they defeat Montclair by a score of 34-13. The game was a lot closer than the score might indicate. Tony Stewart scored first. He went around end for 15 yards on a reverse and a touchdown to give Union a lead 7-0 with 5:53 to play in the first quarter. That was after the opening kickoff. It looked like Union might roll because they drove right down the gut of a very strong Montclair defense. However, Quintus McDonald returned the ensuing kickoff to the 15-yard line of the Union Farmers, and with 3:46 left to play in the first quarter, quarterback Wayne Rose went in from 5 yards out. The extra point was good by McDonald, and we were tied at 7. Now, Sal Volpe has been called on this year for Union to kick a lot of extra points because they are such a high-scoring club. He hasn't had to kick very many field goals because they haven't been in that position of needing a field goal. Well, today, they did need his foot, and he came through with 2 field goals, both in the second quarter, a 38-yard field goal and a 47-yard field goal. And at the half, it was 13-7 in favor of Union. Then in the third quarter, we'll take a look at some highlights as Montclair ties things up. It was Ricky Banks going over from 1 yard out, and this touchdown plunge wound up tying things up because McDonald was hurt, and the backup kicker to Quintus McDonald had to come on, and he wound up missing the extra point. So we were tied at 13 all, and that's the way things were when we went into the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, Union wound up taking the lead on this Tony Stewart 23-yard run from scrimmage for a touchdown, his second touchdown of the day. We'll take a look at it on the isolation camera in slow motion. Stewart, just a junior, ended the day with 189 yards on the ground. He ended his junior year rushing for 1,456 yards. He wound up catching a touchdown pass later in the game, and he wound up the season scoring 23 touchdowns. On the next series after the Stewart touchdown, Montclair trying to come back. Wayne Rose gets hit by Doug DeLuca. The ball falls free. Joe Fernandez falls on it. And here comes the touchdown that really winds up breaking the back of the Montclair Mounties. It was Joe Purcell taking the handoff, the seldom used wingback. Well, he had a very fine day today. He had 61 yards on the ground, including that 9-yard touchdown run. And that made the score 27-13. Montclair tried to come back. They got down to the 20-yard line eventually, but had to turn the ball over on downs. And then late in the game with 2:03 to play, Mike Horton, the quarterback for Union, hooked up with Tony Stewart on a 41-yard touchdown pass. That was the only completion of the day for Union, and it came late in the game and propelled them to that 34-13 victory. And so as you can see, it was a tough game for about 3.5 quarters, but then Union, with a big offensive line, strong running game, tough defense, really pulled away from Montclair, scoring 3 fourth-quarter touchdowns. Union had 344 yards total offense to just 105 for Montclair. As we said, Stewart, 189 yards on the ground. Purcell, 10 carries for 61 yards and that touchdown. Todd Simonson, the senior fullback, carried the ball 15 times for 85 yards. He ended the season with 1,043 yards. That's the first time in Lou Rotino's coaching career at Union that he had 2 runners in the same years go over 1,000 yards rushing and both score over 100 points. Just a great year for Union. 11-0. They started the season atop our TV3 top 10 poll, and, well, we don't usually like to foreshadow our top 10 poll, but we can tell you that they stay atop the top 10 poll. Union records its first undefeated season under Lou Rotino, only the second in school's history. 11-0 they are this year. Montclair with the loss, its second consecutive setback, falls and ends its season at 7-3-1. Paul?
As Matt alluded to earlier in the program, we will not be doing a scoreboard or a football game next week because we were hoping that Colonia would win and advance into the Central Group 3 final. They did not today. They were beaten by the powerful Franklin Warriors by a final score of 28-8. Franklin now 11-0 on the season, and by playing next week, they will become the first New Jersey high school team to ever play 12 football games in one season. Colonia finishes up their season at 7-3. It's the third time that Colonia has entered the state football playoffs. Unfortunately for Colonia, also the third time that they have been knocked out in the opening round. Franklin looked like they were going to run away with things early in the ball game. They scored 2 first-quarter touchdowns with 8:55 to play in the first quarter. A 12-yard touchdown pass from Darren Roberts was almost intercepted, but actually it was tipped up right to offensive receiver Tony Bolton. And when Pat McGovern added the point, it was 7-0 Franklin. After an interception, Franklin came back, and with 2:25 to play, Darren Roberts connected on a 28-yard touchdown pass to tight end Phil Barnes. Pat McGovern adding the point, and that was the 27th touchdown pass of the season for Darren Roberts. Colonia would come back in the second quarter with 5:53 remaining. A 27-yard touchdown pass from Mark Schillinger, also unusually, was tipped by a defensive player, fell into the hands of Robert Haynes, and Haynes went in for the touchdown. Schillinger then threw to Haynes on a screen pass for the 2-point conversion. It was 14-8. Scoreless third quarter. Let's pick up the action in the fourth quarter of play with the score, Franklin leading 14-8. Colonia on the move right here, but a fumble is picked up by Phil Barnes, and that sets the stage for a long Franklin Warrior drive. Remember, Franklin is leading at this point 14-8. Then the Franklin aerial circus starts. Darren Roberts and Anthony Gurrell. Roberts once in a row to Gurrell. Second time to Gurrell, bobbled the ball but hauled it in. He would go to Gurrell again on the next play, this time down the right sideline for a completion. And then once again he would find Gurrell cutting across the middle. This brought the ball to the 4. Let's take a look at it one more time and watch the smooth pattern of Anthony Gurrell. On the very next play, Tony Bolton, who had already scored 1 touchdown via the air, brings it in on the ground for a 4-yard touchdown run. 2-point conversion made it 22-8 at that point. Colonia is driving late in the ball game, trying to get at least on the scoreboard. With 1:11 to go, a little swing pass to Joe White brings the ball to the 14, but watch, the ball is popped loose. Clayton Jackson picks it up. Now watch as Jackson runs down the sidelines. Right about here, he's starting to run out of gas, and he's saying, please, somebody with speed, come near me. That man is Darren Roberts, and Darren Roberts will carry it into the end zone for the final points that made it 28-8. And for those who have not seen Darren Roberts and who have only heard about him, yes, he is as good as everyone has said. Darren Roberts today, 22 of 37, 298 yards, and 2 touchdowns throwing. 1 touchdown he scored. Anthony Gurrell, the fine receiver we saw there, who caught 4 passes in a row, had 8 on the day for 119 yards. Phil Barnes, the tight end, 7 receptions for 104 yards. Not a bad day for Colonia. Mark Schillinger, their quarterback, 13 of 25 for 177 yards. Lamont Swain, their leading ball carrier, with 70 yards on the ground. Robert Haynes in the air, 3 receptions, 56-yard and 1 touchdown. But the real story of the game, Colonia turned the ball over 6 times. Franklin only turned it over once. So Franklin will advance next week to play in the Central Jersey Group 3 Championship. They are 11-0 under head coach Len Rivers. Colonia ends their season at 7-3, and again the final, Franklin 28, Colonia 8. Matt?
Well, Paul, you know, they say you can't go home again, yet Ed Urgalonis proved that that is not correct, because Ed Urgalonis returned to Rahway to be the head coach this year. First-year head coach. He played his ball there, was an assistant coach there back in the late 70s when they won 2 state championships. And Rahway today completed a successful year as they defeated Morris Hills, coming from behind to do so, to win the championship in North Jersey Section 2, Group 3. And Rahway ends the season at 8-2-1 on the year, and I'm sure the young head coach is celebrating that victory at this moment. It was in the third quarter that Rahway got on the board. Donnell Powell scored on a 1-yard run. They elected to go for 2 points. They were successful in scoring those 2. They took that 8-7 lead in the third quarter. That was about a minute to go in the third quarter, and they held on through the rest of the third quarter and on through the 12 minutes of the fourth quarter to record the win. Rahway having a very strong defense this year, and the defense obviously helped them today in Rockaway, which is where Morris Hills is located, and it helped them in the ballgame as they came away with the 8-7 victory over Morris Hills today in North Jersey Section 2, Group 3. Now, congratulations to Rahway head coach Ed Urgalonis and his Indians for a very fine season. They turn around successive 3 and 6 years, and this year they end the year at 8-2-1. Paul?
Tremendous season for Ed Urgalonis and the Rahway Indians, and yes, they do deserve all the accolades for winning the championship in North Jersey Section 2, Group 3. Let's move down 2 notches to North Jersey Section 2, Group 1, where the New Providence Pioneers were not so fortunate this year. For the 3rd consecutive year, they were beaten in the championship game in their respective group. They were beaten today by Chatham Boro, the Eskies, picking up a 20-14 win over New Providence. Steve Mayer was at the game, and Steve files this report on the Pioneers Eskies contest.
At the beginning of the 1984 high school football season, most of the coaches throughout New Jersey set some goals. And one of those goals was to win the state championship. Well, today, those goals can become reality. In Chatham Boro, it's the North Jersey Section 2 Group 1 championship between Chatham Boro and New Providence. New Providence, looking to revenge losses in the state finals over the past 2 years, got the first break of the game, and they converted it into points. Alan Amella hit Chris Leffler with an 18-yard touchdown, and the Pioneers led 7-0. That lead soon evaporated. One of New Jersey's best backs, Chris Shepard, broke loose, and this 74-yard touchdown tied the score.
Well, it's like called a 47 power trap, and I think the guard pulls out and traps the end, and the tackle leads through, I think, something like that. And, you know, it worked perfect. There was a huge hole there, you know, and all I had to do was go through the hole and just go outside, and that was it.
Maybe the big play of the first half, this fumble on the ensuing kickoff. The Eskies recover and quickly score.
It was a bootleg pass. We faked to the fullback and roll out opposite way. And it's been working for us all year. It's been our money play on the passes. And he was wide open on it. You know, they didn't cover it at first, and it was wide open touchdown. He made a great hit to get into the end zone.
Chatham Boro leads 14-7 at this point, but Namella takes charge, and he leads the Pioneers towards pay dirt. This one he scores himself, and the championship game is tied. That's when the pattern of this game changed. The Borough's defense got tough, and their offense seemed content to move little by little. Don Almgren booted a 32-yard field goal to put Chatham ahead by 3. And then as Shepard ran for some more of his 138 first-half yards, Almgren again added to the Eskies' halftime tally with a 35-yard field goal.
I thought that we would get big plays out of Chris Shepard and our offense. I knew they would get big plays out of their passing game. So I don't think the first half surprised me at all. A 20-14 first half, I think you would expect. I almost expected the final score to be 40-35, to be very honest with you. So I'm very surprised, like I said, at the second half. That's what surprised me, not the first half at all.
It was a pleasure to watch Chris Shepard work this afternoon. Shepard, a 5'8", 182-pound senior, led Chatham Boro to their first state title game appearance in their history. Do you feel some pressure, especially throughout this entire season, not necessarily this game, for you to really carry this team on offense?
No, I don't carry this team at all. We have, you know, if we can't run, we can pass as well as anybody, you know. And Scott Delemmy, the other back, he's great. You know, he doesn't really get the ball as much as he should. You know, he's a great back, and, you know, we have a lot of weapons on the team, you know, great quarterback line, receivers, everybody.
Numerous times in the second half, New Providence moved inside the 20. Here, Namella is intercepted by Joe Cataldo at the 1 with 8 minutes to go in the game. But then with Chatham Boro still ahead 20-14, the Pioneers got the ball back with 4:21 to go. They moved mainly due to the big pickups by Chris Grimm, and the clock began to tick down. It showed 1:33 to go when Namella called signals on 4th down and 9. Allen's pass went incomplete, and so did the hopes of New Providence. Chatham Boro was the 1984 New Jersey Section 2 Group 1 champs.
Well, we worked, you know, it's not just this year. We've been working 4 years for this ever since we started playing football. I worked all summer long, lifted weights, playing football, everything, and it paid off. I'll tell everybody else who did it, that's the only way you're going to win is to work at it.
Was there any doubt in your mind throughout the season that your team could eventually reach the point that they have finally reached?
I don't know if it was a matter of doubt. I felt all along we had a good club and we could be here. I don't think we had doubts. We had our back to the wall earlier in the season when we were 1-1 after a loss to Bailey Ellard. But I think the kids believed in themselves, and probably more important than the coach, the kids believed, and I think that's what got us here.
Well, the Chatham Boro Eskies are there, and today, behind Chris Shepard's 214 yards rushing, they edge out the New Providence Pioneers 20-14. For Scoreboard, I'm Steve Mayer.
And once again, the final there, Chatham Boro 20, New Providence 14. New Providence finishes the season 7-4, third year in a row they lose in the state championship game. Ed Yergalonis, the head coach at Rawway High School, who today won the North Jersey Section 2 Group 3 title, is with us via the phone right now. And Ed, first of all, congratulations. I know I talked to you maybe a week after you were named to the job, and you had a lot of confidence then. Did you think that you could go all the way, honestly, at that point of the season when I talked to you?
Oh, well, I tell you, Matt, thank you very much, first of all, and thanks for the coverage all year. To say, you know, we had confidence all year. We took one game at a time, and as things started to go our way, it just snowballed for us. We're trying to build a program right here. We did I think, a heck of a job this year. The kids, coaching staff, and I tell you, the community is behind us 100% right now. It was just great seeing the fans up there, busloads up there today. So we have the start of something great right now.
Coach, what would you attribute the turnaround to? We had mentioned in our report that you were able to turn successive 3 and 6 seasons around and make it 8-2-1. And of course, you had a situation where you had a lot of the players returning, and they really didn't know how to win. And that's certainly in the high school level anyway a key ingredient.
I tell you, that's you hit the nail right on the head there, Matt. I think the biggest key this year has been a change of attitude. You know, we told the kids from the first time we met them, hey, you're good football players. You can go out and beat a lot of these teams if you play inspired ball. If you conduct yourself with class, play hard football, things will go your way. And, you know, today was a perfect example of that. It was a pressure game, and we just kept our heads, and sure enough, we're state champs right now.
And you really played the Riverboat Gambler going for 2. What was behind your thoughts there? Trailing at that point, I guess 7-6. You had come from behind, scored that touchdown. You could have gone for the tie.
Right there. Every game I ever coached, we're playing to win. We played to win last week against Cranford, and you know, we weren't satisfied with the tie then. We're never going to be satisfied with the tie. Our situation was such that I knew if we get the 2 on the board, our defense is good enough to hold, and we'd win the game 8-7. And by the same token, I knew if we missed it, we had a whole quarter yet to go, and we were marching. So, you know, it looks good, this decision this time, and, you know, we look good in Randolph making the same decision. So, you know, I guess I'm 2 for 2 right now.
All right, Coach. Well, we congratulate you on the fine year that you and your Indians had, and we look for good things from Rahway next year.
Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it now.
All right. Ed Urgalonis, the head coach of the Rahway Indians, as we mentioned earlier, his club with the 8-7 win over Morris Hills, winning the North Jersey Section 2 Group 3 title. We'll take a break, come back with some more scores, so stay with us.
The holiday season is here, and HBO is unwrapping its greatest month ever with a variety of feature films, sports, and Christmas specials.
Out, New Providence has forced Verona to punt the ball. Verona could have just let the time run out. Now the Hillbillies will have to punt, and of course, punt's always dangerous. Could be blocked, could be a bad snap. Any number of things could happen on the punt.
Right, could be run back. A lot of things could happen. That's what makes this game so interesting, Paul.
So with the timeout, New Providence has forced Verona to at least put the ball in play one more time. 7-7 our score, with 21 seconds remaining in the first half. At the half, we'll be watching the Verona High School Marching Band, so please stay with us for that.
Paul, an interesting statistic. How many penalties have you noticed this game?
Absolutely 0.
0. Now, that to play a half a football game in high school, at any level, for example, and not have a penalty of any kind, not an offside, not a motion penalty, to this point is truly outstanding, and most certainly a credit to those 2 outstanding coaches, Frank Patone and Al Rotella.
Aldiro only making his 2nd punt of the day. His first went for 56 yards. Aldiro gets the punt away, high hanging kick. Grimm takes the fair catch at the 40-yard line.
40-yard line, if he had another minute, Paul, I think he'd have time, but with 15 seconds, it's tough.
What were you just asking about?
Look at that. I jinxed him. Jinxed him.
We've got our first penalty of the day. It's a holding penalty against Verona, so I would assume New Providence might want to kick over and again get the opportunity for a bad snap or a block or whatever. And that's exactly what Frank Patone is motioning. He wants it to go back.
Sure, make him kick again. All of those things that could go wrong, and now they're going to be kicking from way back there on their, 20-yard line, somewhere about. They should get the ball even in better position.
Frank Patone, the only coach New Providence has ever known in the 21 years of the high school. 2 years played as a sub-varsity sport, And then New Providence moved it up to a varsity sport, and for the last 19 years, Frank Patone has been calling signals.
Been doing an excellent job.
All right, the ball is going to be moved back to the 17-yard line. And again, Aldiro will go back to punt. 15 seconds to play in the half, so to Verona's advantage, 6 seconds went off the clock on the punt. Here it is once again, big snap.
And they'll lose another 3 or 4, I guess, on this play, especially if it's run back, they'll lose more.
Once again, a good snap. Aldiro kicks it once again, a good high kick. Attempted run back by Kemmerer, and he is caught right at the 50-yard line. New Providence will have 7 seconds.
1 play at the most, 2, you know, if they get a quick timeout.
They had better hurry because the ball is placed and the clock is started immediately. There goes the clock.
There we go.
5 seconds to go.
Timeout.
They didn't have any.
He's going to air it out.
Pressure is on. He eludes 1 tackler. Namella's going to run with it. And he is out of bounds at the 40. No flags on the field. We'll take it into the half with the score. New Providence 7, Verona 7 in the Section 2 Group 1 semifinal. We'll be right back with the Verona High School marching band. On his feet, crosses the 30 and is down at the 34.
And that's a little sampling of what you can expect from Chris Venezia. He was hit about 3 or 4 times. You know, he's a good runner.
Here it is on the replay.
Just an outstanding run.
He has trouble with the kick, but then finally brings it back.
He's a smart runner too. He's looking. He's just not running blind. He's finding a place to run, and then when he does get hit, it takes about 4 people to bring him down.
Aldiro in motion. The pitch back to Venezia. Good lead blocking by Craig Dulce. And Venezia picks up 6 yards on the play. Greg Dulce, the right guard, leading the blocking. Dulce is a 6-foot, 200-pound senior.
You know, I could just hear Al Rotella in the locker room. Now, I really didn't hear him, but I could visualize him saying these things. Now, look, guys, we're going to take it to him. We're going to run right at him, and we're going to beat up on him, okay? And that's what they're going to try to do, I think, this second half.
Venezia almost 40 yards today, averaging just under 5 yards per carry in the first half. Fake pitch, give to Aldiro. Aldiro keeps his footing, has a first down as he crosses the 45. And we're just waiting to see if they mark him down, and yes, they will. They mark Aldiro down at the 41. They say the knee did touch as he crossed the 41, so it is not a first down. It is 3rd and 4 coming up for Verona. Virtually no gain on the play.
And what's interesting, Paul, is the fact that some fellow way up here, you know, who can just about see the field is going boo, and the official called it right on the play.
3rd and 4, big play for the Hillbillies to give to Venezia. Venezia has the first down, and the lead block once again from Mark Stavala.
They block very well for each other, and I think that's one of the things that makes this team such an effective running team. The fact that both of those backs are not only good runners, but they're good blockers, and they work at it.
1st and 10, the ball just inside Hillbilly territory at the 47. Zabrowski calling signals. Gives to Aldiro. Aldiro crosses the 50 inside New Providence territory to the 46-yard line. The kind of coach Al Rotella is a motivator. He can talk to a player like a Mark Stavala or a lineman and say, son, you're not going to get your name in the paper every Sunday. You have to block for the other fellas who will get the publicity, and you've got to do the job. It's dirty, but somebody's got to do it, and he motivates kids to want to do that.
No question about that. And Paul, you know, I think the greatest attribute, the most important attribute that any coach can have, whether he's on a Pee-wee league or a high school level or a junior high or a college or professional level, is the ability to motivate. And, you know, some people have it, and some coaches do it quite naturally, and I think Al's one of those people.
If you know Al Rotella, you'll know what I'm going to say right now. I asked Al, what's the one thing you're going to miss from coaching? He gave me a list of about 16 things, but at the top of the list, he said, helping the kids out. By that, he meant that a few years ago, he was honored for getting over $1 million in scholarships for Verona High School players. This is Aldiro sweeping left for a 4-yard pickup. That's quite a figure, over $1 million in scholarships.
Well, let me tell you something that people don't know. He'll not only try to get scholarships for kids from Verona, he'll try to get scholarship aid for kids from Glen Ridge, and he's done that, you know, and I'm a witness to that. He'll try to get scholarship aids for any kid, and you know, and that's a real person for you.
2nd and 6 to give to Venezia. He tries to go over the top. He makes maybe one. Taboni wraps him up. And that is the whole basis behind what is known now as the Frank LaBarca College Day. Frank LaBarca College Day will be here at Verona High School on December 16th from 12:30 to 4 o'clock. All high school senior players and juniors are invited to come to Verona High School free of charge on that day and meet with college recruiters from all divisions of college football, and they will try to find you a scholarship. It's called the Frank LaBarca College Day. Ask your coach, ask your administrator, or call Verona, and they will tell you about it if you are an interested high school player. 3rd down, 4 yards. Zabrowski rolling right, looking to throw. The pressure is on. He steps up and he tosses across the middle to Venezia. 1st down.
Outstanding throw and an outstanding pitch. There was absolutely no room for error. Absolutely none. He put the ball right where it had to be at a time when he had to do it. Once again, Paul, 3rd and 6. Same situation when he went in to score.
Tight quarters on the receiving end.
Now you say, now why isn't he throwing more? Well, he isn't throwing more because his running is making his throwing that much more effective.
The ball just outside the 20, 1st and 10 Hillbillies. Aldiro with the carry. And again, Dulce and Ferguson lead the blocking. Aldiro gets 2 on the play.
Little cross block, you know, anybody that's keying on Venezia is going to find himself in a lot of trouble because they're going to give it to Aldiro, and he's just well, I think he's just about as fine a runner as Venezia is, and it's hard to key on either one of those two people. That was a little cross block and made use of the fact that people might be keying Venezia a little bit.
2nd down. Zabrowski on the day, 3 of 6 for 66 yards, most of those, 32 of them, on the scoring pass.
I formation, wide slot right, and the only reason he was wide slot right was to make the defense rotate to the left.
Did Venezia keep the feet moving that time? He knocked the tackler back 4 yards.
Okay, he's 3rd and about a long 3 now, and I would expect that they're going to run for those 3 because he's in 4-yard territory. And if he can pick up 2 yards now, the extra yard is almost automatic, the way they've been handling the Verona line has been handling the New Providence line.
3rd and 3. Venezia sweeping left, spins off a tackler, dives forward. Horan had the hit, and he stopped Venezia about a yard shy of the 1st down, and it will be 4th down, probably a little less than 1 yard, and Al Rotella, no hesitation at all. The Hillbillies are going for it with the ball at the 13.
Well, there's no question there. There's no question that they're going to run at him, Paul. He makes his living running at people, and now when he's this tight with a yard to go, you know he's going to run at you. New Providence knows it. They're going to bring up the linebackers, see how tight the linebackers are. Doesn't make any difference. I think he's got it anyway.
Aldiro should have the 1st down, and it's hard to single out any one key block. They all were good blocks in the middle of the line, and with the 2 backs, Zavala and Venezia leading the way for Aldiro. 1st and goal for Verona.
Okay, they've marched a long distance, and interspersed in this march has been that one pass, remember. Now, from here on in, it gets exceedingly tough. It's 1st and 10, but the linebackers are going to be in tight. The safety men are going to be in tight. It's going to be pretty hard to run against this New Providence team right now.
And a good hit in the back of the line coming through was Chris Grimm.
Chris Grimm's a good football player. We spoke about Chris Grimm earlier in the telecast.
Second and goal for Verona. The ball resting at the 13. Loss of 3 on the play. Four minutes, 33 seconds to go. Verona, the 14th play of the drive. They have held it the entire second half. Pressure is on, and the sack recorded by Tom Zakowski. Loss of 7 on the play, all the way back to the 20.
It's pretty hard, Paul. I said that a few times to march, 80 yards, 70 yards, and not make any mistakes, especially when teams know you're going to be running at them. As long as you're in midfield, as long as they're in midfield, there is a threat of pass. But right in here, they know they're going to run. They're coming now.
Zakowski, pressure and the sack. Remember, Verona has an excellent field goal kicker who has already this season connected on a 31-yarder. But that's to think about after this play. Third and goal from the 20. Roll out right.
Needs a completion.
Over the middle. Just blocked away at the last second by Tom Brett, or Nick Marinello would have had his second touchdown. Tom Brett with a touchdown saving deflection.
I think he's a little too far out to try I guess he is going to try the field goal.
It would be a 37-yarder. Watch the play by Brett, an excellent receiver. This time knocked down the pass. Saved the touchdown. Now Venezia, as I said earlier, has already hit on a 31-yard field goal. This one will be from 37 yards. The holder is Zabrowski.
There's a little bit of wind from right to left.
Placement. Kick is up. Does it have the legs? No, it's going to be short.
Just as short, just as short.
It definitely had the accuracy, but it did not have the distance.
Paul, it's, one of those should have, would have, and could have kind of deals, but had they not suffered those 2 losses, those 2 sacks, why, most certainly they would have connected on that field goal. That would have brought the ball up about another 10 yards, which is what they needed.
Verona held the ball 8 minutes and 28 seconds.
And that's what they wanted to do. And let's see what New Providence does now. Let's see if they go to the air early.
They give to Liberato. Good lead blocking. And Liberato, with Bunton leading the way, picks up 9 yards. Jeff Bunton had been slightly injured, is now back. He did not start in that Brearley game that we televised just 2 weeks ago.
That was a fine trap up the middle. Once again, guards pull, and sometimes tackles will pull. The right tackle will pull on that play. Sweep across the line and trap number 67, the first man that appears.
Grimm with the carry. Grimm has the first down before Batty stops him. But Grimm crosses the 30, and it is a first down for Verona at the 31-yard line. For New Providence, excuse me.
New Providence can run the ball, and once again, they have to run the ball to make their passing effective. Verona can throw the ball, and they have to throw the ball to make their running more effective.
New Providence would like to pick up at least another first down, so if they had to punt it away, Verona wouldn't have good field position. Namella roll out left, finds his receiver, Leffler. Leffler just near the 40, and he'll be about a yard shy of the first down. Chris Leffler came into the game with 33 receptions, and he had 7 touchdown passes on the season. Chris Leffler, the number 9 scorer in Union County at the start of today's play. Watch him, number 80 on the receiving end.
He's a good one. You have to remember that the safety men are dropping deep and the linebackers are up tight. So everything between those linebackers and those safety men are open territory, and that's a big area.
Kammerer up the middle and has enough for at least a measurement.
Yeah.
And that's probably what we're going to get. I think he has it.
He's an inch either way, Paul. He's an inch either way. Not much more. I think he's short by a half an inch. My eyes are super, except on a tennis court.
And you're right. right this time. They are short by an inch.
Super eyes.
Your eyes are good. Doug Gaffney was telling me before about your tennis exploits, about how the fact he's got a long winning streak over you. He said to talk to him after the game about a rematch.
Doug Gaffney is an excellent athletic director and an outstanding basketball coach. But he can't play tennis for beans, Paul.
1 minute, 41 seconds to go in the third quarter, a quarter that saw Verona take the third quarter kickoff and control the ball for over 8.5 minutes, but failed to score. Third and an inch. Movement. And there go the flags.
Yep. Well, that's the second flag this game, you know, and a game that is as emotional as this game is. It's quite a rarity and quite a testimonial to the discipline of both these teams, that there have only been 2 penalties.
There's the right guard making a move.
And now it's 3rd and 6, and that changes their plans, because 3rd and 6, I got a feeling he's going to throw the ball. The ideal pass in these conditions is a quick slant in to either one of the receivers or to his flanker back.
Namella forced out of the pocket by Montagna, and he's going to be sacked. The sack by David Isabel. For Isabel, his 3rd sack of the year.
Crossing pattern, a little deeper than I thought that they'd run that crossing pattern. And a lot of pressure, just what Verona wants to do. Put a lot of pressure. Here comes the pressure. And now here comes the containment, too. You know, like I say, pressure without containment doesn't serve a purpose.
4th punt of the game for Al Namella coming up. Aldiro hopes to field it near his own 40. End over end kick. Goes away from Aldiro. He fields it at the 36. Tries to come upfield, and Liberato contains him and brings him down at the 27-yard line.
Okay, now let's see if Verona's going to do what they did before. See if they're going to just try to continue to run at New Providence, eat up the clock, and get close enough down there to either punch it over or get the field goal. I got a feeling, knowing Al, that he's going to do just that. He's, you know, why fix something that's not broken? He's running at him well. I expect he'll continue to run at him, and hopefully, you know, maybe one of his backs will break the long one.
Venezia, second man through. DeBellis has him. Gain on the play for Venezia of just about 3.
Well, it's closer to 4, you know, and if he can get 4 yards a try, he's going to have a first down after 3 downs. Of course, pardon me, the only thing is they're going to bring up those linebackers a 3rd time.
2nd and 6. Power eye right. Aldiro. And Aldiro is dropped by Brett, but not until a gain of about 3. Let's call it 3rd and 3 coming up for Verona. The only loss for the Hillbillies this year in the 3rd game of the season to Madison by a score of 28-19. Verona has beaten Summit, Morris Catholic, Butler, Dayton, Pequannock, Del Barton, and Orange High School last week. And that is the end of the 3rd quarter of play. 7-7 the score. We'll be right back with the final 12 minutes after this. But I'll avoid that for right now unless we really get close to it.
Paul, let me call this play. This play is going to be a screen, and they're going to screen the long side of the field, which is the side closest to us. Let me just see what happens now.
They're going to run to the side near us for Venezia, but he is dropped in the backfield, and a good hit by Ricky Stump, the defensive end. The total stats through 3 full quarters of play look this way. First downs, advantage to Verona only because of their long drive in the 3rd quarter. They lead in rushing. New Providence leads in passing. Total yards, only 6 yards difference. Verona has run more plays, and again, mostly because of the one long drive at the start of the 3rd quarter. 4th down, punting situation for Aldiro. Good high kick by Aldiro. Drives Grimm back. Grimm does not want to field it. It is inside the 10, and it is down at the 6-yard line. "11 minutes, 13 seconds left in the football game for the Section 2 Group 1 semifinal. The chance to move on to play either Rosedale Park or Chatham Boro.
And Verona has New Providence in a very delicate situation now, because New Providence, which is a team, as you know, that likes to throw the ball, finds it a problem throwing the ball this deep in their own territory. They're going to try to run it out of there, I'm sure. Get better field position.
Kemmerer with the call, and Kemmerer might have even lost half a yard. New Providence has played in 2 consecutive state finals 2 years ago. They lost to a school, what's their name? They're in Essex County. They're right on the border with Bloomfield.
Glenridge.
Glenridge by a final score of 28-14. And last year, as I just mentioned, New Providence a loser in the Group 1 championship game to Cedar Grove, 3-0.
Here's something interesting, Paul, right after this play.
2nd down. They give on the reversed. And that was Liberato, and Liberato maybe made 4 yards.
Okay, the offensive line for New Providence, a team that has the ball now. Center is 185 pounds, one guard is 160, the other guard's 165. Tackles are 175, and the other tackle is 195. Verona defense and nose guards 200. One tackle's 195, the other tackle's 175. One defensive end is 165, and the other one's 200. So obviously Verona has got a little weight advantage at this particular point. If they can force New Providence to kick, they'll get the ball in pretty good shape for the first time this half.
Big passing down. Namella has trouble, has to step away from one tackler, and then he is dropped by Dave Isabel. The pressure was applied by Danny Maglione, and then Isabel stepped up and dropped Namella.
Yes, it was not only pressure, Paul, it was pressure and containment. He had no place to run, you know.
Here it is on the replay.
Now he sees he has no receivers, and he tries to run, but containment is there, the linebackers are there, and he has no place to go. Now they're going to have to kick it away, and barring a problem of some kind, Verona should get the ball in pretty good shape.
Snap, just a shade high. Namella hauls it down, kicks it away off the side of his foot, and it will be tremendous field position for Verona. As a matter of fact, the best field position of the day. Waiting for the official to mark it, and it is marked at the 34-yard line.
Okay, and now remember, these kids hear what Al said at halftime ringing in their ears. We're going to take it to them, guys. We're going to run right at them. And obviously, that's what Verona wants to do right now. That's what they do best.
Best field position, best starting field position of the day for the Hillbillies. Venezia dives right over the middle for 4.
They're just strong right, they run right. There's no secret about what they're going to do. They tell you, we're going to run right at you. They're in some sort of formation. I never did find out what that formation was, but it was a formation that I don't think I've ever seen before. In any case, they told everyone they were going to run right to the strength. They did it, gained 4 yards.
Venezia and Aldiro having a fine day once again. Aldiro with the carry. He falls forward for maybe 3 yards. It'll set up a 3rd and 4.
That was a short slot right, and they run left. They run away from the strength. So he'll run toward the strength, and he'll run toward his power, and he'll run away from his power. And all he needs is a little room. He's 3rd and about 6 now. I'd be surprised if he didn't throw the ball once down in here.
The Hillbillies are 4 for 8 on 3rd down situations. None more important than this one. Zabrowski, open receiver, in and out of the hands of Stavala. Now Verona is in the so-called 4-down territory.
His receiver was open. I think he just tried to aim it there rather than throw it, and that happens a lot to all good receivers.
Craig Horan comes into the game for New Providence limping. We'll have to keep an eye on Horan, number 10 for the Pioneers. Here it is, fourth, a little over 4. Zabrowski drops back, over the middle, overthrown. 2 Verona receivers were there, Ferguson and Marinello, but it's overthrown, and New Providence will take over at the 29-yard line.
One of those 2 receivers shouldn't be there, Paul. At least one of them, I think, was designed to be shorter than the other one. No way did they have a passing pattern where they had 2 receivers in the same position. Well, there went that good field position, and now they're turning over fairly good field position to New Providence. And remember, it only took New Providence 2.5 minutes to score in the second period throwing the ball.
Hand off to Liberato, almost dropped in the backfield, keeps his footing, still on his feet, 9-yard pickup for Mike Liberato, just when it looked as if he was going to lose 5.
That was a good run by Mike. Not only did he beat the containment up on the line, but he beat the safety man who came up hard on the first miss. Now here comes the safety man, and you just saw him miss, so he made 2 people miss. He run by 2 people that time. He's not a bad back himself, Mr. Liberato.
Now, when you get to this stage, you're not going to find too many bad players on either team, either the winners or the losers, and right now there are no winners and losers. We're tied at 7. First down, Liberato still on his feet, trying to make his way to the sidelines. He has the corner. Touchdown, Liberato has gone 61 yards for the score. Mike Liberato, a 5'8" sophomore.
With good speed, he outran a few Verona defenders, and
61-yard run by Mike Liberato, and here it is on the replay.
Okay, it's a simple handoff. Good blocking at the point of attack. And now what happens is the halfback misjudged the distance that he had to come across the field on. I think what he did was he underestimated the speed of Liberato, something that probably a lot of people have done. And if you're looking for one big play during this game, that's the one big play. Outstanding run. 2 good runs in a row.
Namella adds the 14th point, and it is Verona now trailing by 7. Pioneers 14, Hillbillies 7, with 6 minutes and 48 seconds to go. Mike Liberato.
Well, there's plenty of time, Paul, and as you said at the start of the show, Verona's indicated that they do have character. There he is. He's just outrunning the secondary. He's got excellent speed. He's outrunning some pretty fast people.
Frank Patone.
Simple off-tackle play, incidentally, Paul.
Frank Patone looking to make the state final for the 3rd year. This time hoping to come away with the brass ring. You know, New Providence, it is best to them today to not have the ball too long. Their first scoring drive, a little over 2 minutes. This scoring drive was 53 seconds. The kick is not fielded. It goes into the end zone, and from there it will be a touchback. And Verona has their job cut out for them. They've got to go 80 yards. The New Providence scoring drive, 2 plays, 2 rushes, both by Mike Liberato, and the one that iced it, 61-yard scoring drive. Namella adding the extra point. 61-yard run for Liberato, a 71-yard drive.
The first run, remember, was a run that he should have been caught for a loss for about 3 or 4 yards, and he broke it for 9 yards. And the second one, a simple play, he found the seam, and away he went.
Zabrowski looking in the air, swings the pass out to Marinello. Marinello has a first down and is pushed out of bounds. Gain of 13. Remember, they haven't gone to Ferguson yet, and as I mentioned earlier, Ferguson has caught a pass in every game this year that Zabrowski has quarterbacked.
Should they give Zabrowski time to throw, he can be as effective a quarterback as you'd want. He can find the open man, and he throws very well. His problem is he hasn't had too much time.
Looking to the air once again, faking short, going long, overthrown for Marinello.
Pretty hard to get them all back in one, you know, it's a big temptation, but I think you've got to be careful. You got to take what they give you, so to speak. You know, you've heard that before, but get the 7, 15, 12-yard gains. Don't look to get even in a hurry. Now they've gotten away from their game plan. Their game plan, you know, as we said, was to run at New Providence. They don't have time to run at New Providence. They've got to put the ball up, and I think what they have to do is put the ball up in front of those deep safety behind those linebackers.
2nd down and 10. Zabrowski looking for Ferguson. He has it. Ferguson stiff arms one tackler and fights his way inside the 30, and there's the reception to Ken Ferguson.
Fine reception, just when they needed it. Ferguson's at tight end, and he's a good receiver. He came all the way across field to catch that football. The ball was just thrown right on the numbers. We're seeing 2 good quarterbacks this afternoon.
Right on the money to
good
Ken
in any
Ferguson.
league. Perfect spiral, right on the numbers. Caught him on a dead run and almost broke it. Now we're in a ball game, and New Providence, I believe, has called time, or Verona has called timeout.
No, you had it right the first time. New Providence has called for time. They used their first time out of the second half. Once again, Thanksgiving Day football for these two teams has Verona hosting Caldwell and New Providence going up to Governor Livingston. We've got a good doubleheader for you on Thanksgiving Day, and we'll start it off with the Linden Tigers and the Union Farmers, and you can see that game Thanksgiving afternoon, the 22nd at 5 o'clock, right after scoreboard, and Friday the 23rd at 4 o'clock. And the second half of the doubleheader features this big rivalry between the Roselle Rams and the Roselle Park Panthers Thursday evening at 7 o'clock and Friday the 23rd at 2. And remember, Scoreboard, a special Thanksgiving Day edition of Scoreboard, all the holiday scores from all over northern New Jersey at a special time. You're accustomed to seeing Scoreboard at 7 o'clock. Well, it is on 4 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day. Please make a note of that, to be with us at 4 o'clock Thanksgiving afternoon.
Now, I watched that secondary huddle, that huddle of New Providence. Frank was in the huddle. He was telling just about everybody just what to do. Calmly, you know, no hysterics, and that's where experience pays off. Now, fellas, you got to do this, you got to do that, you do that, and let's not panic. We're still 7 points up.
Pitch back to Aldiro. Good lead blocking. And Aldiro still on his feet inside the 10. By the way, the pass to Ferguson was a 46-yard reception. Zabrowski to Ferguson. Here's the run by Aldiro.
There's a determined runner you ever want to see. Look at his body lean when he gets hit. He just leans. He just determined not to go down. Fine run. 21
carries for Aldiro, 4.1 average. The ball is inside the 10.
Now here's the most critical series of the game right here.
Venezia gets 4 to the 5-yard line. Boy, was there a hit in there.
He is one
Steve
tough
Taboni.
kid, and he came up to meet him. He is one tough cookie, I'll tell you. I ever get into a fight with anyone, I want those two kids on my side. I'm going to go get them, Venezia and Aldiro. Right, I want them on my side. They're tough people.
Venezia with his 17th carry of the day. The ball just a shade inside the 5. 5.5 minutes to play. Pitch back to Aldiro. And Aldiro has maybe 1 yard. Chris Leffler, John Kemmerer, and Ricky Stump in on the tackle.
Okay, this is the most important third down play of the game. You know that. This time Verona called timeout. Al's in the huddle now. Al's saying, okay now guys, this is what we have to do. Now look, we're going to do this, and you be sure and you do this, and you be sure and you do this. Now don't forget, big play, nobody blow it, everybody stay cool. Let's make this block, you make this block, let's carry it in for the touchdown. I don't think they're going to throw the ball. I don't think so. I'd be tempted, but, you know, based on what got him here.
I'd give the ball once to Venezia and then once to Aldiro.
But you know, you have to remember New Providence now is going to have about 8 people up on the ball. They're going to be betting that you're going to be running on it. You know, they're prepared. Both these teams are extremely well prepared for this ball game. That's the reason why there hasn't been any more scoring. These are good offensive teams, but the defenses are so well prepared that, you know, it cuts down the success rate of the offense.
The winner of today's game meets the winner of Chatham Boro Roselle Park 2 weeks from now, December 1st.
Something
for
to
the
think
state
about.
Championship.
Something to think about, Paul. If Verona goes in, do they go for the 1 or the 2 points?
They've got 2 downs to get it in, and then the decision. Venezia still moving.
He's in.
Touchdown, Chris Venezia on a 4-yard run, and it is a 1-point ball game.
He should have been stopped on the 3-yard line. No reason for him to get in that time, Paul. He was hit good. He just kept his legs going. You watch these 2 kids. They keep their legs going. They're hitting, they're still running.
Venezia with the score, and now Venezia is setting up to try to kick the extra point. There he is, Chris Venezia, looking to kick the extra point, which would tie it at 14-14. Zabrowski is the holder. This could be the ball game. The placement, the kick is no good. It is wide left. The kick is no good, and with 5 minutes and 14 seconds to go, the score, New Providence 14, Verona 13.
Still time to play, you know. Al has discounted that play. That's over the hill now. Now they're concerned with what's going to happen now. Now they're thinking about what's going to happen now.
Al Rotella now has to hope his defense can, number 1, contain New Providence, and number 2, contain them very quickly. Do not allow the Pioneers to run too much time off the clock. Frank Batone, on the other hand, would like to see all 5 minutes and 14 seconds on his side.
Both teams have 2 timeouts left, Paul.
Dwight Calloway with the kick. It's a short kick, fielded by Kemmerer at the 15. Kemmerer still on his feet and is finally dropped by Gary Kingston. New Providence will start from their own 28.
Okay, first down's going to be a running play. They're going to see if they can get that 5 or 6 yards. They can't throw the ball this early, although I think I'd be tempted if I were they.
Verona scoring drive, which brought them within 8 plays, 80 yards, 5 on the ground, 3 in the air. Venezia with a touchdown run, but then the extra point was wide to the left. Liberato is dumped in the backfield. Good hit put on by Ed Shields.
I just wonder if New Providence is going to throw the ball. I think if they did and were successful, they'd break Verona's back. I think, you know, that could have an emotional effect on Verona. Verona's got their linebackers right up on the line now. They're playing almost what amounts to a 9-man line. Let's see now. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 8 people right up on the line.
Loss of 1. The give to Grimm, and Grimm will get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 10.
We knew we'd have a good one, Paul. I didn't think we'd know it'd be this good. This is a fine high school football game.
14-13, New Providence in front. Should the Pioneers win, they will have to be on the road for the state final. They are the number 4, the lowest seeded team in Section 2, Group 1. Liberato with the carry, nothing. And
a little
the Pioneers
misdirection,
will
and
punt.
it didn't work. Verona will get the ball with time enough. Now, if they happen to get lucky and get decent field position, I'll tell you, those two backs are going to be hard to contain. They're fierce runners, I know, in this kind of a situation.
Snap is good. Namella's kick is low. Aldiro will field it at the 37. And Aldiro gets it to the 46-yard line. 9-yard return. 2 minutes, 58 seconds to go. And that will tell the tale of this football game.
And 2 timeouts, Paul.
For each team.
Now, he's going to have to throw the ball. Dabrowski is going to have to throw the ball. He's been successful before.
Straight drop, good protection, goes in the Stavala with the reception. And Stavala is pushed out of bounds by Taboni and Leffler. It is very close to a first down. We may have to call for a measurement.
It's where he puts it down, Paul. He hasn't put it down yet.
Frank Batone. Well, I guess the only thing he's thinking right now is we're not going to get into an overtime game this year.
No, there'll be no overtime.
Al is just thinking, I hope that chain that comes across the field is 9 yards and 2 feet long today. For some reason, I hope it's a little short because I want a first down at this point.
Well, in any case, he could put the ball up second. He can waste it down.
The chain is a little short today because it is a first down for Verona. Stavala with the 10-yard reception.
And those are the kind of passes that I spoke of before, Paul, that they're going to have to throw. The New Providence defense is dropping deeper. They're going to have to throw in front of the defense, at least until they get inside the 15 or 20-yard line.
That was the 14th first down of the afternoon for the Hillbillies, only 7 for the Pioneers. Zabrowski looking across the middle. No one's open. He throws it, and it is knocked down by Taboni. Good coverage in the secondary. 6 deep backs for the Pioneers.
And just a little pressure, enough to make Zabrowski throw the ball when he did.
2nd and 10. And New Providence has called for time. With 2 minutes and 35 seconds remaining. 14-13.
They ran a quick screen to begin this game, and they may come back to that screen on the long side of the field and hope to break it deep, especially if one of the runners, one of the people that they throw to is Aldirio Venezia.
This is only Verona's 2nd appearance in the state football playoffs back in 1977 in Group 2. They lost to Clifford Scott in the opening round. The following year, 1978, or actually the 1977 fall season, Verona became a Group 1 school, and they have been Group 1 since then.
Paul, I'm going to say something that may get me in trouble, but it's true, so I'm going to say it. You know, Verona has been good enough to play in the state tournament. Lots of those years. They might have been good enough to play in the state tournament last year, but their competition is such that they have to be very good in order to qualify. They have problems winning those 6 games because they play schools that are so much bigger than they are.
2nd and 10. Pressure is on. They're setting up the screen. It goes to Aldiro. Aldiro has enough yardage for a first down. You could see the screen coming.
I knew they were set for it. They were coming hard. Now it's 1st and 10. I guess they did get the first down on that play.
Watch the screen set up here. Watch the defensive end pressure.
The only thing that I'm surprised at, I'm not surprised at the screen. I'm surprised that they threw it in the middle.
Zabrowski looking long. The pressure is on, and Zabrowski will eat the football. The sack recorded by the Pioneers. A loss of 4 on the play. Chris Grimm in on the tackle, and now Verona has used their 2nd timeout.
There's still time. There's 2 minutes and 6 seconds, you know. That's going to make it 2nd and 12, but certainly time enough and enough downs left. He has time to win the ball game. He's just going to have to throw the ball downfield, but I don't think he's going to be successful if he tries to get it beyond that defensive secondary. I think the place to throw is in front of the defensive secondary. I look for somebody lining up on the right-hand side and running it down and out about 8 or 9 yards, maybe 10 yards.
Each team with only one timeout left. And there are 2 minutes and 6 seconds left in the football game.
Or a little hook pattern, you know, one of those wide receivers. And I certainly would go to one of the wide receivers because they can get into the open area a lot easier than the tight end or any of the people that are banged in tight. They're going to be banged. They're not going to let them out. Well, Providence isn't going to let those tight receivers get free. I don't think I would. 2nd and 12.
Verona will at least have 3 more snaps, barring a turnover. Zabrowski rolling out, sets up, guns it across the middle, completed to Marinello for a first down.
And if they continue to give Zabrowski time, he'll continue to throw that pass in front of the safety man. The area is there. There's 1:57 left, Paul.
Plenty of time. Watch the completion to Marinello. He's had a big, big day. Marinello with the reception.
Nobody's panicked yet on that Verona team. Did you notice?
Clock is on the move. Roll out right. Looking for Stavala. Off his fingertips. Intercepted by Tom Brett. Intercepted by Brett at the 17. Brett may go all the way. He's across the 40. He is down to the 20. And Tom Brett falls down at about the 2-yard line. No flags anywhere.
I think he just ran out of gas.
I think the season, playoff-wise, has come to a close for the Verona Hillbillies. Tom Brett returned it 82 yards from his own 17 down to the 1 before he was tripped up and dropped. Here's the interception on the replay.
Fine reception. The ball bounced off the chest of the receiver, you know, just one of those things that happens in every league to every person at whatever time. It's certainly not a play that anybody should be disgraced about, and most certainly the Verona team did very little, as far as I'm concerned, to indicate to me that they are less than championship stock. They're a great football team, coached by a great man, and, you know, these things, it's part of the game. And I tell you, if I had a son and he were playing for a football team and they were faced with this kind of a situation, you know, where they lost a key game on a play like that, why, I'd want very much for a fellow like Al Rotella to be the coach. Because Al Rotella can handle it, you know. And
well, the kids will be down, but Al, well, it's a shame we can't record his post-game talk because, as you said, he's the one who can just talk it over in the clubhouse and hopefully soothe some pains. There will be pain, but Al can probably talk it away.
No, you don't talk it away, Paul. You never get, you know, the pain's there for a little while. By tomorrow it'll be better. By next week it'll be lots better, you know. 6 months later, you know, it'll be a memory. And what they'll remember are the fine wins, great wins. You know, they got another football game to play. They got a big game on Turkey Day.
Big rivalry.
Big rivalry game, and he's going to get them ready to play that game, I know.
Frank Battone hoping that his team can punch it in. And an interesting possibility here after Liberato takes it is dropped. Actually, that's to New Providence advantage that they didn't score there. Might as well let the clock run as long as they hold the ball. Verona has only 1 timeout left. If New Providence scores, kicks the 1 point, of course, Verona is still within 8 points striking distance, but actually it is again to New Providence advantage to not score on 2nd down or on 3rd down, and then maybe try to score on 4th down.
I guess so, Paul, but I think it's always good to see those points on the board.
Oh, obviously you want to put it in, but there's no harm right now in not scoring on any particular down. 2nd and goal from the 1, Liberato. And again, he did not score.
Great game by the New Providence team.
Yes, he did. Liberato crossed the goal line. Late call, but Liberato is in his 2nd touchdown of the day, 2-yard run. That was the slow motion call by the officials at at the 44-second mark. Here it is on the replay. Now about here, Liberato crosses. Add about 20 minutes to this replay and we'll get the call. Mike Liberato, his second score of the day, and Namella trying to tack on his third extra point. And it is good. 8-point difference. And Verona certainly is within striking distance, but they've only got 44 seconds to go. And now the question is, what kind of kickoff will Namella give them? Will he try to boom it deep, or will he try one of those squib kicks that is hard to pick up and hard to return?
Well, the good thing about a squib kick is that it takes a little more time, Paul. And it'll use up a few more seconds on the clock, and every second used up is most certainly to their advantage.
Oh, you hear the New Providence fans shouting, we're number one, and yes, you are happy about it, but you've got one more big football game to go, Pioneers.
Yes, and that game will be either against Roselle Park or
Chatham Boro.
Chatham Boro.
And it will be either at Roselle Park or Chatham Boro. New Providence will not have the home field for that game. Namella, let's see what kind of kickoff he gives them. And he'll try to boom it deep. Aldiro will field it at the 10. He's up the middle and dropped. Good hit. Applied by Mitch Goodstein, and you'll hear a lot about him in the next 2 years for the Pioneers. Mitch Goodstein, just a sophomore. 37 seconds to go, and the official will start the clock soon. Clock is on the move now, 37 seconds. Pioneers will drop back deep. Zabrowski looking right, puts it up for the sideline, over the head of Stavala.
Well, you know, everybody knows what's going to happen from here on in. The game, for all intents and purposes, Paul, is over, and it certainly was a great football game. You got to feel a little bit for Al Rotella, and you most certainly got to feel a little elation for Frank Patone and his gang. They did an outstanding job. They hung in there. There were times when either team, whoops, there's a
fumble. The completed pass pitched back, and it may be recovered by the Pioneers, in which case it is, and this one's over. With 14 seconds to go, Verona tried to pull one out of the back of the playbook, the old hook and ladder, as our former announcer Dick Zimmer used to call it. The completed pass, pitch it back to a running back, but Chris Leffler fell on the football, and this one, my friends, is over.
Well, with 14 seconds to go, you know, it was a great effort by that Verona team. It was a fine football game. You know, if they played 10 times, I think probably each team would win 5 of those 10 teams. At least that's what I would guess. They're pretty equal, but on this day, it was New Providence Day. And New Providence...
For you, this time you're going to come away with a win, I hope.
Yeah, we just got to get back to work, you know, get ready for whoever won today against Roselle Park and Chatham, you know. We were ready for this game, scouted them well, had a good week of practice, and came down the game, we just stuck it to them.
Is it important, is it going to be more difficult, I really should ask, that the fact that now you're going to have to play on the road today, and then, of course, on the road next week, no matter who wins?
Nah, we don't care about that. We just, you know, we got to get ready during the week, got to think what we're doing all week, get psyched up for them. We don't really care where we're playing. Just go out and play hard and try to win the game.
Al, any secret to the fact that you are such a good thrower, besides the fact having a good line and good receivers?
Nah, it's, you know, I've been always been able to throw the football. It's natural ability.
And it's also just a quick offense for the team. Your first touchdown, which ended in a pass, was just a quick drive that you just marched it down the field.
We just did a lot of outs. They were susceptible to the down and outs deep, because the cornerbacks were playing deep in the flare outs.
Well, Al, good luck on Thanksgiving Day and, of course, in the championship. Congratulations. Frank, you're there again, 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row.
Yeah, this year we hope to go all the way. We told our kids we've been bridesmaids, I guess, for 2 years, and we want this one. It was a typical New Providence Verona game right from the beginning. They just kept coming back. We knew they were that kind of football team, and Al just does a great job with his staff, and it was enjoyable playing Al again. We're really going to miss him around here.
Early part of the game,
it looked like we had two teams that shouldn't have qualified for the playoffs. A lot of turnovers in the beginning.
I'll tell you, I don't know if it was the cold weather or the kids were anxious or what it was, but we had our chances in the first half to put it away. And at halftime, we went in at 7-7, and I told our kids, I says, we're lucky to be even with them, you know, playing the way we were. I said, just, you know, be patient and things will happen for us, and it did.
I know you have no preference about who you want to play next week. You just want to play and win. But what sort of things do you have to do as the coach to prepare a team that has been there 2 times and has lost?
Well, I think being there 2 times has a little advantage. Even they say, you know, if you don't win a big game, but every game is big. If you don't win them along the way, then there's no big game. So every game is really big, and I tell the kids that. I said, you can look back 5 games ago, and those games were big. So this was a big game. Thanksgiving Day is a big game, just for neighborhood pride there with Governor Livingston. So you know, our kids feel that every game's a football game. They got to go out and give it their best, and that's all we ask of them.
And Frank, a favor for the kids, for your wonderful wife Betsy and yourself, don't go to the 10-yard game again. Let's end it in regulation time.
Right, I agree with that. That's no good. I don't like that at all.
Frank, thanks very much for stopping by. Congratulations, super win. New Providence again a winner today by a final score of 21-13 in Billhorry. We could not have asked for a better football game between 2 evenly matched, well-coached teams.
Yeah, it was a great football game, and you know, I feel good for Coach Batone, and I can't help but feel, my honest emotion, I feel a little bad for Al and for his team, and you know, they tried so hard, and they're as good a football team as New Providence. They just weren't as good today, and they're a great team, and they have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. They had a great season, and I know they've got another football game to play, and I'm sure they'll show the character that they do have in that game. To Frank, why, you know, we wish him well. His team played exceedingly well. Both teams were well coached. It was just a great afternoon, and people that paid their admission, they got their money's worth today, Paul.
Al Rotella, it would take hours to wrap up and say goodbye to you for all the help you've given to us, but suffice it to say, from Bill Horry, myself, and everyone else, we appreciate all the time we spent with you at TV3, and good luck to you in your future. And to Frank Batone and the Pioneers, good luck as they advance to the Section 2 Group 1 State Championship, and we'll find out who they're going to play. We will see you all on Thanksgiving Day and on December 1st for high school football doubleheaders. For Bill Horry, I'm Paul.